Hi there and good morning. Welcome to the 8th Annual Generation Democracy Global Summit in Lithuania. It's an honor to speak with you today. I know gathering young leaders from around the world, this summit is an opportunity for you to connect and lead the way to address the world's most pressing challenges. I'm former Congresswoman Abby Finkenauer, and I'm currently serving as the first special envoy for global youth issues at the U.S. Department of State. I actually joined the State Department in November 2022. President Biden appointed me to lead U.S. government efforts to engage young people internationally in solving today's critical issues while building greater global connectivity and networks to shape the world of tomorrow. In this role, I serve as the principal representative on youth issues for the State Department and also lead efforts to coordinate and, very importantly, amplify global youth policy and initiatives. And at a time when the world is facing many complex challenges, and with more than half of the world's population under the age of 30 years old, young people like yourselves can and must create the change needed to overcome these challenges. See, we must work hand in hand to address the issues that are important to us and to our communities. As one of the youngest people ever elected to U.S. Congress, I firmly believe you are never too young to lead and make change. And you, as youth leaders, are proof of that. See, as leaders and activists from around the world, you are key players in ensuring that youth voices in politics and civic life are heard around the world. The work you are already doing to empower young leaders and promote democracy abroad is absolutely vital and will make the world a more peaceful and equitable place. Having met many members of Generation Democracy in Costa Rica and South Korea at the Summit for Democracy, it's absolutely clear that the young leaders in the network are already making a difference around the world. Now, you join the ranks of young leaders who are essential to continuing to make progress. We need you, young and diverse individuals like yourselves, represented across the full spectrum of society, from government to civil society organizations to community organizations. In this role, I have found that it's not enough to simply prioritize youth engagement, but that we must hear from young people of all backgrounds and understand that their representation is not just a plus, it is a requirement. To the incredible participants here, if you are willing to share your stories, we can learn from each other and tackle the barriers that impede the true systemic change that will benefit future generations. See, I know young people face very real barriers, cultural, personal, institutional, but I also believe that being young, that's your superpower. Your journey, your story, your superpowers, as cheesy as that sounds, are unique to you, different than mine, and different from the other youth leaders here. And through our stories, when we share them, that is where we find hope. See, my story began when I ran for and was elected to state office in the United States at the age of 24, and then at 29 years old was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. My family and my community shaped my service. I grew up in a rural community, as I like to say, with more cows than people, in a working class family, and as the part of the first generation in my family to actually attend college. See, I understand some of the very real, practical, and institutional barriers young people face in pursuing service, and believe deeply in the need to do more to break down those barriers. I believe in your ability to collaborate, advocate, and lead with determination, and I encourage you all to take inspiration from one another's successes and innovations, and I know that your work will contribute to positive change in the global democracy landscape. I also know that many of us will experience a voice inside our heads that might tell us that our opinion doesn't matter or that our actions won't make a difference, but I'm here to encourage each and every one of you to push that voice aside and believe in your mission and your journey. Remember that you're in that position, in this room, in this place to do the work that needs to be done and to do it well and with integrity. As I close, I have one more story to share. On a trip to Indonesia, I actually participated in a mangrove cleanup during a Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative Women's Leadership Academy. Now, before we went, we were given the whole scope of the week, and on the last day, my deputy and I were going through our schedule and we saw mangrove cleanup. And so we looked it up about what we would be doing. Really excited to do service is always a big part of our leadership programs. But when I saw the mangrove cleanup on the website, I realized, oh my goodness, everyone's in the water. Holy cow, this will be interesting. And I said, well, I'm game for it, but I just want to make sure I bring the right shoes. Well, my deputy said, no, you're not going to be getting in the water. There's cleanup on the shores, that type of stuff. And I said, well, okay, but like, I will do it. So anyway, we get to Indonesia, we're there, and again, we get to that last day. We show up at the mangroves, and I'm with so many extraordinary young women, about 100 or so. And as we're there and we're all getting ready, we're given boots and we're given gloves, and then we are told, by the way, it's high tide. And I go, oh boy, this will be interesting. And they said again, no, you're not getting in the water. You're just going to walk through the mangrove, and there's this beach area where we need help with cleaning up the trash that had washed up. And I said, okay, but again, like, we can do it. Well, as we're walking through this mangrove, again, all the young women were told the same thing, keep going until the beach. But the reality was there was so much trash in the water. I mean, it was all over. And what I saw, all of a sudden, the women in front of me, instead of walking all the way to the beach where there was, again, lots of trash to pick up, they saw trash and they decided, we need to go get that. And so off they go, starting to get into the water. And my first thought is, oh my goodness, are there snakes? Are they okay? Turns out there definitely were snakes. We did not know. The second thought was, as I saw these brave women see work to be done and being willing to go do it, was that, my goodness, these young people, these young women, they're gonna save the damn world. And I saw also, as the ones who were able went all the way out to about waist deep, right, grabbing trash where it was. Then there were some who were more up to their knees, some more on the shore where we were grabbing bags and tying them, some at the top who were handing bags back down. And nobody organized us. It just all really organically happened, where everybody found their spot. And as this was happening, I realized this was a real metaphor of what change making really is. You see, every layer needs the other, and everyone has a role and a place in it where they can use their unique strengths and talents to rise to meet whatever challenges they face. I know that through your life, you may also see that your place may change or shift. And I encourage you to think thoughtfully about that, where you can give the most at this moment in your life, at this moment in the world. And again, where that can shift and change, but again, think of how you can keep giving back and do the best you can with where you're at and what you have. I know that's who you are. I know this is part of why you're part of this program. It's why I'm so excited to hopefully get to meet you all, and why I just have to say thank you for your dedication and energy to finding new solutions. I'm so, again, excited to kick off the 8th Global Summit and support youth leadership and civic engagement on a global scale. Thank you for your passion and dedication to youth political and civic engagement, and I am absolutely confident that your participation in the summit will absolutely make our world a better place. Please stay in touch and share your thoughts throughout the year. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at US Global Youth, and on Instagram at US Global Youth Envoy. Thanks, everyone.